Hello friends, welcome back. Today's video is going to be the Valentine's edition, and we'll talk all things about love. We'll burn some incense sticks, we'll do some coloring, we'll also do some reading, and we'll read some beautiful messages. But before I start, let me grab my drink. I will place it over here and we'll just sip throughout the video. And the second thing we'll do before we get to any coloring or reading, I will light some incense sticks. It's really applicable to the day as it's called the Romance one. Just put it over here and it will create a nice atmosphere here along with the salt lamp I have on this side. So before we start, I have a little passage here about this day's history that I would like to read to you. So Valentine's Day, it's a holiday observed annually on February 14th, on which lovers express their affection with greetings and gifts. Valentine's Day did not come to be celebrated as a day of romance until about the 14th century. So what is the history of Valentine's Day? Given their similarities, it has been suggested that Valentine's Day has origins in the Roman festival of Lupercalia, held in mid-February. The festival, which is celebrated the coming of spring, included fertility rites and the pairing of women with men by lottery. At the end of the 5th century, Pope Gelasius forbade the celebration of Lupercalia and is sometimes attributed with replacing it with St. Valentine's Day. But the true origin of the holiday is vague at best. So, who was Saint Valentine? Although there were several Christian martyrs named Valentine, the day may have taken its name from a priest who was martyred about 270 by the Emperor Claudius II Gothicus. According to legend, the priest signed a letter from your Valentine to his jailer's daughter, whom he had befriended, and by some accounts healed from blindness. Other accounts hold that it was Saint Valentine of Terni, a bishop, for whom the holiday was named, though it is possible the two saints were actually one person. Another common legend states that Saint Valentine defied the emperor's orders and secretly married couples to spare the husbands from war. It is for this reason that his feast day is associated with love. How is Valentine's Day celebrated? Formal messages, or valentines, appeared in the 1500s, and by the late 1700s, commercially printed cards were being used. The first commercial valentines in the United States were printed in the mid-1800s. Valentines commonly depict Cupid, the Roman god of love, along with hearts, traditionally the seat of emotion. Because it was thought that the avian mating season begins in mid-February, birds also became a symbol of the day. Traditional gifts include candy and flowers, particularly red roses, a symbol of beauty and love. The day is popular in the United States as well as in Britain, Canada, and Australia, and it is also celebrated in other countries. In the Philippines, it is the most common wedding anniversary, and mass weddings of hundreds of couples are not uncommon on that date. The holiday has expanded to expressions of affection among relatives and friends. Many school children exchange Valentines with one another on this day. The next thing I would like to do, I have these affirmation cards here, and I would also like to read them to you. So the first card tells us, I deserve to love and be loved in return. And there is also a little message on the back side as a little prompt to think to ourselves, to answer a few questions. It says, there is nothing more precious than the gift of love. The first question is, how can you express your love for others? And the second one, who in your life makes you feel loved and how? And the next card says, I don't need to be perfect to be worthy of love. The prompt on the back side says, start loving yourself for everything you are, every single thing that makes you unique. And the first question is, what makes you unique? And the second one, why are you special? So if you have a minute, maybe you could give it a thought and see what comes up for you. And now let's do some coloring of these hearts here. I won't be making them just red and pink. I would like to do them in all colors. And what I would like to do, I will write a little gratitude in each of the heart. And while you're watching, you can think of something for yourself too, something you're grateful, or maybe someone you're grateful. Now this beautiful pen here, which is also like a red rose, one of the symbols of today's day. And I like the sound it makes. So the first thing I'll write down, being able to enjoy the sun. I was often about running a few errands today, and even though it was cloudy, at one point the sun came out and it was almost blinding, and it was so warm, and I just really enjoyed the warmth from the sun on my face. The second thing I'm grateful for is seeing some nice kitty cats today. So two who were basking in the sun, and they were just so happy. And these two beautiful cats, they were so happy that I approached them. So I'm writing petting some stray kitty cats. The third thing will be me being grateful for my friends. And I had a few friends who reached out to me, just checking up on me. And it's just so beautiful to receive messages from friends who are far away. They go about their day, and then at some point they remember you, they think about you, they send you a message. It just warms my heart every time. So I will write, friends sending me messages, checking up on me. Next thing will be me finishing a book that my friend gifted me for Christmas / the New Year's. I finished it today and I really loved it. It's called It's On Me by Sarah Kumuruk. I hope I pronounced the name correctly. She is also known as the millennial therapist, I believe, on Instagram. And this book was really eye-opening. It made me feel a mix of emotions, but also it made me feel hopeful about the future and just about being myself and how I present myself to this world and to the people in my life. So if you haven't heard about it, if you haven't read it, I definitely recommend it. So what I write here is me being grateful for yesterday's dinner, and the dinner I had was called Yuvarlake, and I had the meat-free version of it in a local vegetarian / vegan place. I have this saying that I use when I eat really nice food and I really like it. I say that my belly is doing a dance, so that's when I'm very excited and very happy about the food I had. So I will write having delicious dinner out. The next one will be the fact that I will be soon visiting some of my friends in Europe, and today I was picking up some more gifts for them. I will write picking up some presents for my visit to my friend's place. Another thing that I'm grateful for is being able to sleep in. Sleeping in until 10 a.m. This one will be finding my favorite crosswords. Today, while I was running some errands, I will write finding my favorite crosswords. The next one will be this rose here. I actually received it today at an appointment that I went to. Lady at the reception, when I was leaving, she gave me this rose, which really made my day because I wasn't expecting it, and it was beautifully packaged. It's just a single rose, but the attention that went into that, it's priceless. And this one will be me being grateful for moving my body, and that the mere fact that it's responsive and it's flexible. Just not long before I started recording the video, I did some yoga and it felt really good. Even though it was a short practice, my body enjoyed it and I felt calmer. So I will write moving my body, and being grateful for it. So I will write here being grateful for my friends. This one will be being grateful for spending time with my partner. So here we have it. Just a little reminder of love and affection that can take any shape and form, and love towards our bodies and ourselves, love towards our friends and our partners, love towards humanity, and just little different things that bring you joy. So before we finish, I would like to read you a little passage from one of my favorite books, and coincidentally from one of my favorite authors. and this book is called Tiny Beautiful Things, Advice on Love and Life from Dear Sugar. And the author is Cheryl Strait, whom you might know by one of her famous works called Wild, and there is also a film made based on this book. So this book is based on letters that Cheryl Strait used to receive as a forum columnist. So she would receive different cry for helps or different questions about life, and then she would just reply to them in her witty and at the same moment vulnerable and empathetic way. So there's this one letter and her reply that I think is applicable to today's date and is also very thought-provoking. So this chapter is called The Magic of Wanting to Be. And the letter starts, Dear Sugar, I am a 64-year-old man who has been single for the past 5 years. My most recent romantic relationship lasted 10 years, 8 of which were wonderful. My ex had 4 adult children and 3 grandchildren. I liked her children a lot and I loved her grandkids. The year after our relationship ended was the most painful time of my life. This, even though I'd lost my father in high school, spent a year in Vietnam, and watched another lover die of cancer. To survive my heartbreak, I started to do lots of community volunteer work. In the past 4 years, I've been involved with hospice. I've served on the board of directors of a non-profit agency that provides services to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. I've tutored students at a middle school and I worked at an AIDS hotline. During this time, I've had a few dates with women I've met via internet dating services and found one good friend among them, but no romance. There is a new volunteer coordinator at the AIDS hotline where I volunteer, and she is wonderful. She is so exciting that I overcame my fears and asked her out to see a play with me. She said she couldn't go because she had a friend visiting from out of town. I believe that. I know I should ask her out again since she seemed willing, but one of my fears is that I'm old enough to be her father. I don't want to be a dirty old man. My counselor said just be light at first, start easy and be funny. Be Cary Grant, she said. But I don't know if I can do that, sugar. I give to lots of people, but I have emotional needs too. I want sex, affection, and emotional closeness. I want someone to care about me. I know people do care about me already, but I want someone special. I want to be loved and to receive love, to have someone there for me. My hunger for this is so great that I fear it's too much to ask anyone for. I'm afraid that if the volunteer coordinator did go out with me, I'd share all this with her at once, and though she'd be compassionate, she'd be scared of because she'd perceive me as needy. Of course, I know that even if the volunteer coordinator and I did start seeing each other, she might not be the person for me or I the person for her. But I want to take that chance and see. I don't want my fear to get in the way. What do you think, sugar? Fear of asking too much. So Cheryl's reply is, Dear fear of asking too much, of course you want someone special to love you. A majority of the people who write to me inquire about how they can get the same thing. Some are hot, smart and 25. Others are 42, a bit chubby but lots of fun. And others awesome but in a muddle. Many are teens and early 20-somethings whose hearts have just been seriously broken for the first time, and they are quite convinced they'll never find a love like that again. If you are seasoned, experienced grown-ups like you, whose faith in the prospect is waning. Unique as every letter is, the point each writer reaches is the same. I want love, and I'm afraid I'll never get it. It's hard to answer those letters because I'm an advice columnist, not a fortune teller. I have words instead of a crystal ball. I can't say when you'll get love or how you'll find it or even promise that you will. I can only say you are worthy of it and that it's never too much to ask for it and that it's not crazy to fear you'll never have it again, even though your fears are probably wrong. Love is our essential nutrient. Without it, life has little meaning. It's the best thing we have to give and the most valuable thing we receive. It's worthy of all the hullabaloo. It seems to me that you're doing everything right, darling. I plucked your letter out of the enormous How to Get Love pile because I was struck by the integrity with which you describe your situation. You're looking for love, not letting that keep you from living your life. In the face of your most recent and considerable heartbreak, you opted not to wallow. Instead, you gave generously of yourself by committing to work that's meaningful to you and important to your community. It's no surprise to me that it was in the course of that work you've met someone who genuinely sparks your interest. So let's talk about her, the exciting volunteer coordinator. I agree with you that you shouldn't let your fears get in the way of asking her out. Just don't allow yourself to take it too personally if she says no. I can think of 2 reasons she might turn you down. One is your significant age difference. Many women will date outside their age bracket, but some won't. The other is your status as a volunteer for the agency that employs her. She may be constrained by workplace policies that prohibit her from dating you, or she may have a personal boundary about doing so. She does, after all, hold a position of professional authority in relation to you. You won't know either until you find out. I suggest you ask her on a date without specifying the day or time or occasion, so you can avoid the uncertainty of another impossible to interpret I'd love to bad scenario. Just tell her that you think she's great and you wonder if she'd like to go out with you sometime. She'll either say yes or no or okay, but only as friends. I agree with your counselor that light and easy is the way to begin, with her and with any woman you ask out, even if you have to fake it for a while. Which happens to be precisely what Cary Grant did. He wasn't born as even a dazzling movie star. He wasn't even born Cary Grant. He was a lonely kid whose depressed mother was sent to a madhouse without his knowledge when he was 9 or 10. His father told him she'd gone on an extended vacation. He didn't know what became of her until he was well into his 30s, when he discovered her still institutionalized by the life. He was kicked out of school in England at 14, and by 16 he was traveling across the United States, performing as a stilt worker and acrobat and mime. Eventually he found his calling as an actor and changed his name to the one we know him by. The name your counselor invoked because it's synonymous with male charisma and charm and fabulousness, but he was always still that boy inside. Of himself, Grant said, I pretended to be somebody I wanted to be, and I finally became that person. Or he became me. Or we met at some point. I suggest you take that approach. It's not about becoming a movie star. It's about the down-in-the-dirt art of inhabiting the person you aspire to be, while carrying on your shoulders the uncertain and hungry man you know you are. Your longing for love is only one part of you. I know that it feels gigantic when you're all alone writing to me, or when you imagine going out on that first date with a woman you desire. But don't let your need be the only thing you show. It will scare people off. It will misrepresent how much you have to offer. We have to be whole people to find whole love, even if we have to make it up for a while. I remembered a younger version of myself as important to your letter. I recall the time 15 years ago when I was sitting in a cafe with Mr. Sugar. We'd only been lovers for a month, but we were already in deep, thick in the throes of the you tell me everything and I'll tell you everything because I love you so madly stage. And on this particular afternoon I was telling him the harrowing tale of how I'd gotten pregnant by a heroin addict the year before and how I'd felt so angry, sad and self-destructive over having an abortion. Mr. Sugar stopped me. He said, "Don't get me wrong. I want to hear everything about your life. But I want you to know that you don't need to tell me this to get me to love you. You don't have to be broken for me." I remember that moment precisely, where he was sitting in relation to where I was sitting, the expression on his face when he spoke, the coat I was wearing, because when he said what he said, it felt like he'd scooped a hunk of my insides out and shown it to me in the palm of his hand. It wasn't a good feeling. It had never before occurred to me that I thought in order to get a man to love me, I had to appear to be broken for him. And yet when he said it, I recognized it, immediately, humiliatingly, as true. Like truly, really true. Like how could I have not known this about myself before true? Like what hole can I go and die in now true? Because here was a man, a good, strong, sexy, kind, astounding, miraculous man, finally calling my bluff. You don't have to be broken for me. I didn't have to be broken for him, even though parts of me were. I could be every piece of myself and you love me still. My appeal did not rely on my weakness or my need. It relied on everything I was and wanted to be. Yours does too, sweet pea. Bring your needy self when you go on that next date with a potential lover, but bring all your other selves too. The strong one, the generous one who became fatherless too young and survived the war and lost one lover to cancer and another to the challenges of a decade together, but came out wiser and more tender for it. Bring the man you aspire to be, the one who already has the love he longs for. Play every piece of yourself and play it with all you've got until you're not playing anymore. That's what Cary Grant did. The lonely boy who lost his mom in the fog of his father's deceit found himself in the magic of wanting to be. His name was Archibald Leach. Yours, Sugar. I hope you like this passage. I would really recommend reading this book because it just touches on so many different topics, and at the end of it all, it's all about love. Love towards ourselves, towards our families, friends, partners, children, and at some point you want to cry, at some point you want to laugh, but every story makes you feel hopeful. Thank you again for being with me here today.